Hi and welcome to one of my Shark Tank React videos, where I react and analyze one Shark Tank pitch as if I would be one of the sharks. I love this program, they have a lot of knowledge in it, they are talking about both the investing side and the entrepreneurial side. And I think that relationship is very interesting to dig down in and see what's underneath the surface. And I'm looking at four things when I'm looking at the pitch. I'm looking at the people behind the company, I'm looking at the business model, I'm looking at the market, and I'm looking at the numbers. And after the pitch, I will say if I would invest in the company or not. But I won't drag this out anymore, and we just jump into the pitch.
Next up is Rick Smith, with big plans to bring his brand of entertainment to Las Vegas.
Three. Oh, cool. Let's get her out of there, you guys. Come on, help me out. Oh, very nice. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm not as beautiful as my lovely assistant, Tiffany. My name is Rick Smith Jr. I'm a professional magician from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm seeking a $1.5 million investment for a 20% equity in my company. There's a huge opportunity in the world of magic in Las Vegas, and I intend to create an extremely entertaining, family-friendly magic
show. He's giving away 20% for $1.5 million. Oh my god, it's 7.5 million in valuation for this. He's talking about magic show in Las Vegas. He will not be the only one, and we won't be the last one either. So I don't really know what kind of you can calculate on that. And if he is asking for 1.5 million, what does he bring to the table? Do he has an audience? Do he has reputation? Do he has something that brings to the table that makes this easier to know that it is a one-hit wonder, or at least they will make their money back? It's not scalable. Well, it will be scalable if you make it media and digitalize it like this, but he's talking about a show. He wants the show to be kids friendly. If it's kid friendly, maybe you can't have that high price on it. I don't like it from the get-go. 7.5 million for a magic show, it sounds very expensive. For me, at least, who is not into magic, or not into that artistry world, and I don't know the economics, but it feels like this can be really expensive to run, especially if you don't have a name. Because if he had a name, he didn't need to be here and asking for money. That's the simple part, because then otherwise he would be able to run his company, run his magic shows in another area, not Las Vegas, but going around and earn enough money to set up a production in Las Vegas or something else. But let's see what he's going forward with and talking about when it comes to the economics, and also how he sees it will be working. Because I'm a little bit like, what's the moat here? How many of these tricks are his own? How many of those can't be copied? And how many Las Vegas shows are there with magic? I can kind of figure it's a huge amount of them. And you're not only competing with direct competition, you're also competing with substitutions, with shows, with music, or Cirque du Soleil, or something like that. So you are in the entertainment business. Entertainment business makes it so you have a lot of substitutions. For example, my substitution from playing a video game could be watching Netflix, to explain it easy. But let's just jump in and see what he's talking about more and how this business would benefit the sharks to invest in.
Now, this isn't just your ordinary magic show. We will be adding singers.
Hey, oh, yeah.
Wow.
Dancers. A unique juggling act like you've never seen before.
I'm dizzy.
These are a few of the featured entertainers that, combined with my magic and illusions, we will create the next big hit on the strip. Now, over the years, I've created unique illusions. I've thrown playing cards further and harder than anyone in the world, earning me a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. Hey, would you mind helping me out for a second?
Sure.
I want you to put this gauntlet on your left hand. I want you to hold your left hand out. I want you to hold this piece of celery right here. Please do not move. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these playing cards, I'm gonna throw it, and I'm gonna try to cut this piece of celery in half.
Whoa. Oh, come on.
Watch closely, watch celery. There it is.
Oh, man.
Wow. Hey, can you help me out for a second?
Sure.
I want you to sit right here. Actually, can you help me out too for a second?
Sure.
Come on down here. I want you to have a seat right here.
Absolutely. Okay.
I have this lighter right here. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set your chair on fire.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. If you feel anything, if you just feel anything at all, just. What?
Oh.
What are you?
Oh.
What's wrong?
You zapped me.
I did not zap you.
Give me that thing. I'm gonna light you on fire, buddy. Right now. Oh, that's...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burn your behind. The opportunity is right here in front of me to take all I've learned and experienced to the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas.
Okay, Rick, you just burnt my ass.
Sorry.
I have a question.
Yes.
1.5 million for 20% of your company or your business
Yes.
or your production means that you're telling me that you're worth $7.5 million.
$7.5
Let's get
million.
serious here. Why?
Actually, I'm projecting to gross $12 million in our first year. I'm working with one of the top publicists in Las Vegas. We've checked out many different venues, and we found out that on the average seating between 400 and 600 seats, selling tickets at a price of $60, doing 2 shows a day, 7 days a week.
But you haven't done this yet.
I have not done a Las Vegas production show. Right now, I'm currently a magician that I travel all over the country doing corporate
How
events.
much did you
trade
make
shows.
last year?
Last year, I made $200,000.
And I'm supposed to say you're worth $1.5 million because maybe in Vegas you're gonna make it? You know how many magicians are in Vegas? They grow them like mushrooms there.
Lots of magicians in Las
Look,
Vegas.
riddle me this, Rick.
Yes.
Who burnt my ass?
I'm sorry.
Why don't I just take my $1.5 million and create Mr. Wonderful's magic show in Vegas? Because I'm taking all the risk, all the capital. I call you up and say, hey, Rick, you want to work for me? And I pay you.
$300,000.
Why do I have to give you, 80% and I get 20, I put up all the money? Isn't that what this whole dig is about? The guy that has the money makes all the rules. That's how it works.
Very interesting there. They took up kind of all the things that I talked about. How is this different? What is making it better than anything else? Now Mr. Wonderful is talking about who is actually bringing kind of the resource that makes this impossible to copy or impossible to take after or anything like that. Who is bringing actually the resource who makes this unique, so to say. And I think he is saying one really good rule here when you're thinking about a startup. If I would just come with the bunch of money you are asking for, could I build this company myself? Because if it's only about money, then there's nothing else hindering or stopping anyone else to start the same company. And if they have more money, they could run faster with marketing and so on and so on. So that is kind of hard. But he's talking about he has a publicist on the strip. He has these artists connected with the show, so maybe it's something there that is unique. And I actually remember why I have seen this guy before. He's in one of Mark Rober's YouTubes where he's trying to build a gun that can throw a playing card faster, harder, or more with more precision than this guy. I think actually he lost, or his gun lost. So it's Mark who's lost also. If we are talking about he wants to be the main show on the strip, he's projecting around 2.5 million in gross revenue. Well, when you do that kind of numbers and crunch it down, what kind of margins do you have? Because if he is a owner of this, could he take a salary then and calculate it back? Because otherwise I would say he would only pay the other guys who is there. He would not take a salary. If he took a salary, you would calculate it out from kind of the profits he's making and sharing that profit from with the shark. Because if the shark is getting 20%, and we say that Magic Show has maybe 20% profit margin, then we are talking about 2.6. Because if you think about it, if we would have a 10% profit margin of this, it will be a low profit margin business because they are really abundant in people. They have a big area or location they need to be in. It costs a lot of money and so on. And because it's the Strip, it's Las Vegas, there are not more places to go to host a show like that. So in a way they have actually a moat, and that's the location. The physical location is actually a moat because you can't build any more locations in that place because otherwise you need to stack them on top of each other and then it's not the same. But still, so with 10% profit margins, 1.25 million in profit, it's not much money for the shark to actually earn, and then also taking the risk of that not happening. Because if he's not sold out in those 2 shows every day for a week in 1 year, he's not making that gross margin. At least what it sounded on him. He could have some kind of security, some kind of margin of safety in it, but still it didn't sound like that. So if it's like a really high risk project to invest in, you really need to be maybe bringing something that you know that will kind of guarantee that this will be a success, and otherwise it will be really, really risky. So let's see.
The guy that has the money makes all the rules. That's how it works.
Well, yeah,
You're an employee, you work for me. If I don't like your magic, I fire you. In fact, I burn your ass.
To get your money back right away, I was thinking that I'd pay you twice your investment.
If you even make the money, and that's the $1 million question.
If I make the money.
Rick, the reason most of these shows don't work, and the reason they're so risky, is you're not a known brand. Nobody knows Rick the Magician. I give you the 1.5 million, you rent the venue, the 1.5 million is gone. It's gone. The day you open, if people don't know you, I could go to zero.
That's how all magicians, every magician in Las Vegas. No, seriously.
But Rick, before they go to Vegas, they have a brand, they have a name.
No,
People
that's not true. Every magician doesn't have a name going into it. They all have pretty much the same story as I do.
Why not start in a smaller town?
I'm really up for anything, but this is just my dream to be this.
And you
this
just
performer.
gave up on the dream just like that. I'm up for anything.
I
You gave up Las Vegas just like that.
No. I've been working on this deal right here for over 3 years, working with this publicist who has worked for major.
Yeah, but publicists just want you to pay them. Yeah,
right?
you just pay the publicists. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear. But the reality is, Vegas is incredibly expensive. You know, to get into a decent showroom costs a lot more than $1.5 million.
Right now, the rent for most of the showrooms is between $6,000 and $8,000 a week.
A week?
A week.
A week.
My closest friend is Siegfried and Roy's manager.
Okay.
30 years managing them. And he manages other magicians and still cannot get anybody else out in Vegas because how challenging the market is. Now I'm talking about the guy who created magic.
Yeah, it's one of the best shows ever in Las Vegas.
This is absurd. I'm out.
So I hope he can conjure some ice here, because he's really getting grilled here. He is, it's more about like being deep fried, actually. So I agree with everything they're saying. You need to have a name. You need to come there with something behind you. Why don't start in a smaller town? Then he says it open to in a smaller town. Then Barbara says, what? So you say this is a dream and you now give it up. How is this a dream? Now you're giving up. Because if you want to invest in a founder, you want to see they are doing this even if they would be broke. Even if they would have no money in their pocket, they would be doing this anyway. Because then you know they need to figure out a way to make it happen. And when you have that drive in a founder, it's kind of hard to, or no, it's not hard, but it is a lot lower risk that they will fail. Because if you're dreaming it, you are saving every penny to actually take you 1 day forward or 1 month forward to actually achieve that dream you have. Well, it's no resource in the world that can change that or take that away. And then Damon comes in with a really interesting data point. The manager of Sigmund Freud, like he is managing magicians in the business, and he has only got one in Las Vegas. He doesn't get the other ones in, and he has done it for 30 years. That's a hell of a data point. One who has achieved it once and never again. Damn, that's a data point that is so. It's talking so much about the problem or the probability of getting his show in. And then Mark is also talking about it. And then he talked about the fee for the venue per week. Okay, the astronomical cost. So it doesn't look good, and I don't see how this can be profitable for any one of the sharks. So yeah, let's see. My gut feeling is that everyone is saying like, no man, it's your dream, everything like that, and you need to make it in another way, not with sharks' money.
This is absurd. I'm out.
What you're proposing is insane. This isn't even a tolerable risk. It's an insane risk. I'm out.
You went for the Holy Grail. You're not quite ready to go there. I just think if you would have told us that we should invest in you, and over some period of time, we'll grow with you, and we'll help your career because we're sharks, so we know how to help, and we'll give you advice. But you asked for $1.5 million. I ain't gonna write you a check for $1.5 million for 20% so I can help your career go. You set your sights high, but you set them too high, and it's not gonna work, so I'm out.
Rick, you missed a fantastic opportunity. I've never seen somebody throw a card that fast. Incredible. But I gotta tell you, Rick, it takes 10 to 15 years to become an overnight success. And you're not gonna use my 1.5 million to become an overnight success with one act. I'm out.
It feels like the sharks is jumping off one by one, faster than a speeding bullet or something like that, and faster than he can throw the cards actually. But I think it was two things here that was really important when I think about it. First, what Mark says, you're asking for 1.5 million. When it comes into the Shark Tank and asking for that kind of money, he can't leave with a deal that is lower amount of money, so that is kind of hindering him of going up and down and try to make another deal. So that is kind of just asking for too much. And then Robert is talking about you are being, and then Robert is talking about you're becoming one overnight success by working 10 to 15 years before. Success is kind of tricky because you're working, and then someone is noticing you, and then it goes up. Because the effort you put in is linear and will always compound up, but then the outcome is trickled with probabilities, stochastic falls. You maybe meet the right person who is helping you, you meet the wrong person who is taking you down, and so on and so on. So success is a function of many things that we don't know, a bunch of things that we hopefully know, and then your work ethics to consistently show up every day to perform and to do your best. That is what makes it success in the end, hopefully. Not everyone is becoming successful despite hard work and everything like that. But yeah, okay. Let's jump forward. Let's see what they're saying. We have 2 sharks left. Very low chance of them saying yes or giving him a deal, I think.
You're not going to use my 1.5 million to become an overnight success with one act. I'm out.
You're such a cute kid. But you're nuts. Came in, asked for too much, too soon, with nothing to prove that you could actually even attempt to pull it out. Nobody's gonna give you the money, and I'm out.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Las Vegas. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
My Las Vegas dreams are not over. I'm going to continue to look for an investment so we can actually make this dream
No shark is going to jump into that Shark Tank and be on that kind of business. It's a very lousy business. There are a bunch of things that can go wrong in the first end, and then it's a bunch of things that will need to go right. That is very, very few opportunities of that happening. And then it's only also a lousy business, because in the end, what kind of margins can you expect to get in that kind of business? I expecting very low. You don't have a moat, you don't have anything that kind of separates you from everyone else, and if you're starting to take too high prices or negotiate with your suppliers and pushing them down too much, then they can switch out. And because in a sense this business is only giving you a moat because you are on the strip, and then you are on the strip and no one can move you, but the one who can move you is the one who rents out the venue. So you're taking a risk, and hopefully they are not kicking you out. So when we're looking at the 4 things, I'm looking at the person. He's not a name at that point, making magic and stuff like that. Nobody have heard of him, because that was the only thing you can expect. Him coming in there with an audience, with a name already, and everyone saying like, I want to go to this show, because he is there, he is putting them up. And then the business model, well, the business model is very simple. I think we all understand it. Putting up a show, people come, pay, buy tickets, doing it twice a day for 7 days a week. First, I hopefully he don't get burnt out, because that's a lot of work. And the second is, well, if you don't sell out, what should you do then? And your current cost with salaries and renting the venue and everything like that, which could create quite big holes in your pocket, and probably have very low profit margins. At least what I expect. If someone else knows better than me, please comment down below. And then third, market. I don't know the magician market. I know the entertainment market is very big. Magician market should be a subsector of this. But I think the biggest problem here is more, there are a lot of magic shows out there. A lot of guys and girls want to be a magician and so on, but there's very few who make it. So in that sense, it's the competition is fierce. And then the numbers. He had made $200,000 last year doing magic. To bump it up to 12 million, not 2.5 or something like that. Bump it up to 12 million from 200,000. It's an enormous number. And of course, if you're one place, you have one venue and sold out. Yeah, the calculation works, but that is what I would call a blue sky scenario calculation. So let's say it was not a lot of numbers to actually look at. And would I invest? No, because essentially I'm giving money to someone to do their thing. I'm not building a product, it's not building a service, and nothing like that. Because if I would invest in something and he will gone, let's say if I invest in something and the founder is gone, is it some value left? And if the answer is no, then you have a huge risk. Of course, the founders is very important for the company to succeed, but if they are totally gone, you have no value in the company and cannot sell it for scraps or anything like that, then your risk is so enormously high, so you can't even... Worst case is just too bad investing in that, and the upside is just too little. But what would you do? Would you invest in this guy and prolong his dream of being a Las Vegas show? Or is there anything you want me to explain in the video that you didn't understand? Please comment down below, and I hopefully attend that in a video, or I will see how you're thinking about his entrepreneurship and his company and his project. And I just want to say, please subscribe to this channel so you will see my next videos that's coming out on Shark Tank and other stuff about finance in general. And I wish you returns in your portfolio and in life. Thanks. Bye bye.